I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming this evening. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public comment? Just in time. Okay, no comment? So, we will start off with our organizational meeting with the election of the officers.
So to nominate Tom Stillen for chair.
Second nomination.
They don't need seconds.
Oh,
nominations.
not needed.
No. Okay.
But I
Any
mean,
other
it's fine.
nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations?
Was that 3 or 2?
Yeah.
That was 3. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, I guess I'll continue on. Election for vice chair. Do we have any nominations for vice chair? Taking Gary's spot.
I nominate Ron. Unless
Any
you want
other
to continue being the clerk.
nominations?
I don't know what you want.
I don't mind being vice for a change.
Any other nominations?
Following Shane's tracks.
Just don't shoot me. Any other? Any other nominations? No. No volunteers. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Resolution to combine the duties of the clerk and the treasurer into one position. One person in the office of business affairs. Last year that was.
Well, Ann is the
Yeah.
person.
And
Ann.
person, so.
So I'll make that motion that to enter into the record the resolution to combine the duties, as we have done in the past. I don't think we have to do this annually, but several years ago I asked that we renew it so that we didn't forget that we had done it.
Okay. So,
Second.
got a motion, got a second. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Election of clerk. Used to be Ron.
Move to elect Mimi.
Perfect. Have a second.
Any others? Don't need a second.
Any
No
others?
second.
Any others? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations?
That was 5.
Five,
That should be enough.
Yeah, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Congratulations, Dave. Treasurer. We have nominations for treasurer.
So before, I'll nominate Josh.
I'll nominate Mike.
Okay, so we've got 2 nominations, so.
Wow.
Who carried that
Big
last year?
deal.
Well, I have a
think it was
question
me.
though.
Okay.
How often do you need the treasurer to stop in and sign things? Because occasionally that has happened, not very often.
Treasurer doesn't, the clerk is one of
The
them.
clerk
Clerk
signs
signs
it,
one.
ton of
Okay,
stuff.
so the treasurer signs for the stamp for the checks or doesn't they even do that?
We
It's
get
just-
a signature on a disc
Or
that
turn.
goes right to Region 5 and it.
Okay, so there isn't any, it
I'm
used to
happy
be
to
that the treasurer, they wanted somebody who could come in
Right.
once in a while, so
I'm
Now
happy
it's
to
just a
do it.
rubber stamp.
now
No.
we're just rubber stamp. Jeez,
Now you sign it once and then you.
take away my Smarties.
I'm happy to do it.
Okay,
Oh.
Great,
we-
I will,
we-
please withdraw the nomination.
I withdraw the Michaeline's nomination.
Okay. So all in favor?
I,
Opposed?
Did you go and ask
Yeah,
3
I did.
times?
Yeah. I said any other nominations? He said Michaeline, I said any other nominations? Any other nominations?
Okay.
So Mike is treasurer.
No.
No, Josh.
Josh.
Sorry for the
Josh.
confusion.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Happy to do it.
Did we vote on it? I'm sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Okay, official depository. That's
That's Bremer.
Bremer Bank
Yep, for both things.
for
We use-
both things, so
yep.
we don't have any change to that?
Nope.
Okay. We have to vote on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Well,
Wait.
this is a
Oh.
motion in a second? Or
Yes.
Yeah. do a
I will
motion?
make a motion to name Bremer Bank as the official depository.
Second the motion.
Okay. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, official 2019 board meeting and board committee calendar.
It
Yes.
is.
Can we get a
Other
copy
than
of that?
January has the second and the fourth Thursday. The rest are all on first and third Thursdays. Once again, with July, I just put one meeting in because historically that's what we've done. And I kept the Thursday in October that is the MEA day for the state. Because we did that this year, we had the meeting on MEA and it seemed to go fine, so I loved that. But this is tentative, if you wanna make any changes to it. And then the standing board committee meeting time with the typical things that are done at that time. That's not to say that that's the only thing on the agenda, but that would be the Lions, that would be the first thing that we would talk about on those committee meetings. And that's why they're scheduled when they are.
So do we have a motion to approve them?
Move that we approve the board meeting and committee meeting.
Do I have a
Dates,
second?
time.
Second.
Okay, discussion.
My question is, once we've done these, I watched that webinar on, so I didn't realize this, and maybe I heard it wrong, but once we have approved this, those are all considered posted meetings. You really don't have to post them again.
Right.
So we are held to all these committee meetings and would need to specifically cancel them should they not be held or should they be changed.
Right,
And any other committee meetings would be special meetings,
yes,
and any other board meetings would be special meetings.
correct.
Just looking for clarification.
No, I'm glad you brought it up so everybody's on the same page
Yeah.
and understand that, so.
It's,
So you really don't have to post any of these meetings?
Not
Not-
when
if they're
not
in the
when they're
calendar,
Now when
adopted this
they're-
way.
Right.
We choose to
We just have
post
to
or
post-
share agendas.
But this
We
would
don't have
be,
to.
right, so, but this then gets sent out to anybody who has requested
Yes.
the meeting notices, so once they got that, they have all of these, that's their notice, you don't have to send it every meeting like we.
right.
So once
I
you're on
thought
one
it
of
would-
these committees, make sure that you know those dates.
Yes.
I thought it would save some steps by doing it this way.
Yeah.
Okay, any other further discussion on it? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Official wire transfer authorization.
Who's our
Where's our
wire?
wires? at?
Gwen?
Gwen, right?
I am and Gwen
Gwen,
is.
right?
Mhm. It takes two,
Need a motion on that again?
please.
I move that Ken and Gwen be the official wire transfers authorization.
Okay, so a motion, do I have a second?
I'm sorry, who was second?
I'll second it.
Josh, second.
Jean,
Jean
Jean
made
made
a
the
motion.
Thank you.
Okay, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Official newspaper, at this time we have the banner. Do we have a motion to maintain that?
So moved.
A motion by Ron,
Second.
second by Josh. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Legal counsel, yeah, right now we use Kennedy and Graves. We have a motion to maintain that. Keep them?
Motion to approve Kennedy and Grievance, our legal.
Counsel,
Second.
second by Ron. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed? Say that to myself. Okay. Superintendent is identified as official authority, that wasn't on
this,
there
yeah,
before.
just the board is supposed to approve me as the Iowa
You're in Iowa.
identified
Iowa.
official with authority.
Any particular town?
What?
Nothing,
Yeah.
Davenport.
I make
Do we
a
have a motion?
motion that Superintendent Crin be designated as the Iowa.
Okay, do I have a second?
motion. Second motion.
Do we have a second? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. What is this? Oh, board compensation of board members. Hasn't changed in I don't know how long, as far as what we get compensated for meetings. Do we have a motion to continue the same?
Make a motion to continue the same.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Noted that if we want to keep up with the others in the district, Caledonia last year went up to $50 per meeting. And so, but if we did that, I mean, that's gonna add 2 meetings a month, about 300 or better on that. And I think we need to keep our budget in line, so I think we should stay at.
Maintain?
Yeah.
Okay, any further discussion?
Yeah, I would, we have a lot of meetings and we go to a lot of meetings and we're compensated for our time. I think not exuberantly, but fairly. I would just like to know what the budget line is for that and you know, how much that is costing the district. I'm kind of curious. Do we have a budget line for, I don't need to know it right now. I'm just saying in the future, maybe you could update us on an update or something.
Sure.
Is there a staff development line for district? Is that what we fall under for those things, or is that what the board meetings would fall under as well?
No, board meetings,
Our salary.
board meetings is a separate line item,
Okay,
but like the MSBA or any other conferences that you go to would fall under the staff development.
yeah. So I'd just like to see how that. I'm curious.
We can pull the object codes and look at 2018 and what got paid to board members, so that would be an easy pull.
Thank you.
If we raised it, would we get more people wanting to run when fall comes?
Probably not.
No, not for $10 extra.
We have to do something controversial.
There are not a small number of boards who take no pay. So, I mean, I'm not suggesting we'd have anybody
Right.
running. I mean, it's really not, it's paying for your time and travel. And I think it's fair. I think it's reasonable for the amount of work we're asked to do. But,
It used to be, I believe, higher years ago, wasn't it, at one time, or was it, hasn't changed?
No.
I know it hasn't changed a long time.
What was different is you got paid for every single meeting, so
Yeah,
if you
that's
were
what it
here
was.
3 in a row, you got $120.
Yeah, that's why we tried to have our other meetings the same day, which saves.
And if you came in and talked to the superintendent, you got paid, and if you came in to sign any.
Don't say that, because that was not necessarily everybody in the world, but yes, it would have been an option.
but I think it's also reasonable. I think Mimi correctly brought it up. We have jobs outside of this job, and sometimes if you're on a couple committees and the board, you could be in a meeting you could work all day and then be in meetings from 4 p.m. until 8 or later. That's for, the cost of one meeting, and that, that seems not right either.
So those nights for the district advisory committee and the district tech advisory committee, I will be asking that those not meet on a board meeting night, so that we don't have that. But I do know that Thursdays are typically free for you, so we'll try to do opposite Thursdays.
And if you feel like we need to separate them out, I mean, it works, whatever's works. for
Well, I
you.
think Corinne has said that she would try to ensure that that doesn't happen, but if it were to continue to happen, I would see that we would maybe put something into the board pay
Yeah, if you're working more than 4 hours
to,
or
Yeah.
something,
Or
because that's kind of where the all day
what
comes
if you
into
have more
play.
than 2 meetings in a row, if you paid for the third meeting?
well, that You know, right now we have a motion to accept it as it's been, but that, if that was gonna continue, I think that's not unreasonable either, what you're suggesting.
More than 2 meetings and go to an additional
Yeah,
meeting.
Could we amend the meeting? Or amend
Yeah.
The motion.
the motion, that's it.
so
Make
Jean made the
amendment.
motion.
Jean
so-
made the motion,
Well,
so
you can make an amendment to it, we can vote on the amendment to the motion.
Oh, okay,
Okay, I would like to amend the motion to state that if we have more than 3 meetings in a day.
more than 2.
More than 2 meetings in a day, you'd be paid for any additional meetings
At the meeting rate.
At the meeting rate. Okay.
Everybody got that?
I will second that amendment.
Okay, so, does everybody have a clear understanding on that?
Yep, vote for the amendment.
Okay. Got that in?
Yes.
Okay, so now, do we have further discussion on the amendment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Now we can
Now we have to
Vote
go
on
back,
motion as amended.
motion.
motion go back on the original compensation of the board amendment, right? We
As
already-
amended.
As amended. So,
Call the question?
Okay.
we have any discussion, all in favor?
I,
Aye. Opposed? Okay. We're through that one now, correct?
yes,
Good over there. Come on, talk. Okay, committee appointments, our favorite part of the night. Facilities,
Arlen Peterson did talk to me and said that he would be willing to be on this committee.
okay, I know Josh had mentioned it,
Yeah, I would definitely like to be a part of that.
so we could have 3,
Yes.
or I could just bow
No, but stay on there too.
out, okay?
well, I would not prefer you to step out, you,
I'll stay on.
Yeah,
So it's gonna be me, Arlen, and Josh.
Yeah, perfect. Definitely want your.
Okay.
experience.
who would be or do you choose at the first committee?
Usually we
meeting who's-
discuss at the first committee, who's gonna
Okay.
be the chief, so if you're wondering.
Usually after this meeting, we have someone start as the contact person. So we would like
I
to be
can
able
just
to.
be the contact since I've kind of been in it for a few years. Then maybe next time around somebody can. Okay,
I'll put a star by your name.
thank you. Little gold star. Okay, so negotiation, our favorite committee, I see we have Josh, Ron, and myself. Anybody else wanna jump in on that?
Can't, you can only have 3.
I know, but if someone wants to replace somebody,
Yeah,
Did Josh volunteer for this one?
I don't know, I have his name on my piece of paper here. so-
Yeah, I've got his name. He wasn't there before.
no, I wasn't.
There
There was some confusion. I'm, is anyone else interested? I would bow out of my,
We didn't have
I
Josh
highly
on there.
doubt it.
It's
Yeah.
been Ron and I for a while,
yeah.
since Joe left. It's been Ron and I, and it's been fine. Don't you think, Ron?
Yeah.
Do you wanna leave it just the 2 of you?
I mean, if somebody wants to be part of it, that's fine.
Well, the minutes from a year ago, Josh was on
I know I have it,
Yeah.
that's what I have right here.
Yeah.
I was not at any of those.
He didn't, but he didn't go to anything, so.
I was not aware of that. So that's,
So what is here was what was officially approved
Right.
last year. So that's what's,
That's what I'm going off of here, that I got a copy of it, probably what you have a
Well,
copy
it's
of.
nice to know that.
No, I have the list that was amended to the minutes in January 2018. I pulled this off the
Okay.
minutes.
but it should
Yeah,
be,
that's the-
so Josh is on there, right?
Yes,
Yes.
Right,
yeah, I was not,
But he-
attending any of them.
Right.
I was unaware of that, so.
oh, okay. All right, well, good enough. I'm good with it.
just Ron and I.
Yeah.
No, all 3 of you.
Josh?
If you don't want
You
to.
don't
do
want
it,
to.
No, I would
you-
be happy to. That's fine. I
It's-
apologize for the
Oh, no, no.
miscommunication in 2018.
It's a lot of meetings. So, and I don't wanna scare you out, but I,
Is there anybody else that would like to be part of that?
Not me.
What was that, you said me?
Not me.
okay. So
Okay,
the 3 again?
so we'll go back to 3, Josh, Ron, and myself. Online,
Oh, who starred? Sorry.
oh, we can shoot Ron. You mind being the,
Okay.
Okay. There's a lot of contracts this year.
Yeah.
Goody.
Yay.
Online school. It's Mimi, Jean, and myself. Who would like to be on that? I know Mimi is near and dear to her heart. Jean has
Yeah.
kind of been doing a good job on it also. Is there someone else that would like to be part of the online?
Do you feel we still, because
Maybe 3 or 2.
when we present, we've been presenting everything to the whole board too. We don't have an on-site school committee. Do we need to still have the online school committee?
I know we talked about that last year. We can go around the room and ask. I think it's been
I think that
beneficial.
this year with the discussion of renewing
With
the
the contract
contract,
and
that
everything
there's
else, I
an
think it's-
importance to having a committee that can drill down some of that.
And with the Destination Academy as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Ron,
Yeah, I think we should have.
I'm fine with it.
There's
I
a
know.
lot of action on it.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of stuff that in detail that never, we don't
Gets
talk
here.
about it in that level of detail on the board, so.
Okay.
Is there anybody else that wants to get on that committee? Okay, so we're gonna maintain the same.
Who's the spokesman?
Mimi, you gonna continue that
Sure.
spokesman? Okay.
So Mimi starred. Thank you.
Okay, finance committee, it's been Michaeline, Mimi, and myself. Is everybody fine with that? Yes. Anybody want to volunteer for being the captain of the,
For finance?
Yes, ma'am.
Usually it's the treasurer.
For finance?
Yeah.
Treasurer's the treasurer and automatic member of that.
Yeah, the treasurer is an automatic
Automatic,
member.
yeah.
So
Josh.
Josh has
Josh
to be
is
on.
yeah.
So
I
then,
can step off.
Okay, thank you for volunteering, Michaeline.
I was just getting my training wheels were ready
Yeah.
to come off.
Well, if you don't, I
If you don't
mean,
wanna step off down, I can step down. Okay, Josh,
Who gets the star on that one? Is that Tom or?
You.
Mimi,
Josh, because Josh is the treasurer.
Wow.
yeah.
Alright.
so
'Cause you
that's
were the
what comes
treasurer.
with being
'Cause you were
treasurer.
the treasurer last
They
year.
didn't
Bryce
tell you
Gold
that.
Star.
but Yeah,
Yeah, cause you were it last year.
yeah.
Okay, policies, our favorite. Ron and Michaeline, have done an excellent job for years.
the committee no one wanted, Ron, it's you and me.
Okay, we'll maintain that. Who gets a lucky star? Michaeline, perfect.
She's much more articulate than me.
Board representation, meet and confer, that was Michaeline and Ron.
And
Wait, can we back up just for a second?
Oh, yeah.
Did,
Policy.
so Arlen's gonna be on facility, as long as he's,
Yep.
He
as
volunteered
long as
for
he's
that.
on one, at least one. Did he express interest in any of the others? The standing committees?
not of the standing committees, on the board representation he did,
Okay.
but not on the standing.
Okay,
Okay, you good?
yeah.
Yeah, just holler if he's give you a note. Meet and confer, was Michaeline and,
He did say he would be interested in meet and confer, but if it's already set, he doesn't need to be there.
so to the two that are on the
I wanna
committee.
give her something to do, I would drop off on that one.
Bye.
Okay, Ron is gone. Michaeline, are you,
Yeah, I'm fine.
okay?
We haven't had many meetings because we haven't had any issues on
Right.
which to meet, so.
So you're the spokesperson?
It's not a board committee,
No.
it's
Right.
representation,
Oh, that's
so
right.
it's actually called by the employee, the teachers are the
Gotcha.
ones that.
That call it or
that
don't
call
call it.
Mhm.
Okay, legislative liaison was Josh.
Gene, would you be interested in taking that? You might be able to,
Talk to the legislators.
well, there isn't, my work schedule isn't real proactive for like the,
To go to those
yeah.
breakfasts.
But if you'd be interested, that you might be more
Sure, I can.
visible.
Okay.
We got Miller up there now, head, so
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can take that, Gene?
I can do that.
Thank you. Houston County Cooperative, Michael Lean. Cooperative. That was Michael Lean.
I'd like to continue unless anyone else is interested. I feel like
No, you're doing a great job.
you don't know what I do on it.
It actually makes sense to keep you on that because some of the things that we're talking about at Collaborative are going to dovetail right into policy as far as the transportation that we're talking about at both places.
There you are.
There you go. In. Okay. MSHSL.
Arlen said that he would,
Yeah, I had his name down for this.
okay.
Even if you didn't want to, you'd be doing it. Community Ed. That was me. Anybody else want to take that, or I can continue?
Pete said he'd take that one.
Okay.
But,
That's fine.
okay,
Not a lot going on. ECFE advisory. Mimi?
Sure. Don't really do much.
Okay. And now district advisory. That was Jean, Mimi.
and then there was confusion as to whether or not there can be a third on this one as well if you want one.
I can stay on, really good.
Mimi, you'd like to continue?
Yeah, I'm open. If somebody else.
Somebody else want it? Do people
Yeah.
want that?
Yeah, Pete said he'd sit on that one.
If you're not wanting to maintain, we can throw,
We can have 3 on there.
let's put 3 on there.
Michaeline, are
Well,
you interested?
Yeah, I've been.
Put Michaeline and Pete on and drop me off.
It's not a board committee though, it's a district committee.
And so-
So, I mean, I think 3 board,
Well, we can just have
Members
you
is a
and
little
Jean,
bit of
that's
overkill.
fine. You know,
but I
mean,
think it's an important committee, but
Yeah.
and
have
And,
both
and,
you-
and Pete said he was getting on some other ones, so that's, he probably has enough to do, so he would probably have said, take this one.
So we just go with you and Jean? Is that okay, Mike?
I don't know, what do you want, Mimi?
I think it's good. I would rather be on the district technology committee, I think, than the district advisory.
I wanna be on
You know,
that one too.
The district well, you could be on both, but for me, I don't know, the district advisory, it can be really time consuming. I mean, I almost feel like it should be more time consuming than it is. Because I think they need to be meeting more than they are right now, but it's definitely a substantial amount of work. So, or has potential to be. So if you wanna take it, that's fine, because I think the district technology isn't as busy, but there's definitely a lot of work there too, so.
With the, district advisory committee gearing up to write the, ESSA plan, yeah, there's going to be a lot of meetings.
Are you okay getting on that one, Mike?
Yeah, I would like to be on that one, but I don't want to unseat another.
No, that
Person
doesn't
who's-
sound like fun to me, so go ahead and take it.
Well, I mean, to me, I mean,
I don't know what an ESSA plan
this
is,
has
but
a
it
lot
doesn't
to
sound-
do with students. It has a
Yeah.
lot to do with community partnerships and outreach to the community and world's best workforce. To me, it's a lot of big work that could or should be done by this committee. So. Yeah, I'm
So,
willing.
who was it, you and Jean?
Jean, and then,
Gina and Mike?
Yeah.
I mean, is 2 enough people, you think?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many people are there on it?
It's
12?
supposed to be 12.
Oh, more.
A minimum of 12.
HPET, Jean, you gonna maintain that one?
Yeah, I'm getting to know the people up there and everything, so.
Look all good then. Continuing ed, that's you also.
Do you wanna take that, or Pete said he'd do that one?
Go ahead, Arlen, do that one if he wants it.
Okay.
That's the ones in terms
MS,
of renewals,
BA.
teachers.
That's me.
That's you.
Yep. QComp. Ron,
Yeah,
you gonna maintain that?
sure.
Does that
Anybody
mean
else
you,
want that?
does that mean you go to all the QComp meetings, or what does that mean?
Yeah,
There's, the QComp Oversight Committee meets every other month.
Oh, and you're on the oversight committee then?
Mhm.
Cool.
Michaeline, you have,
No, I liked that committee. I had to get off it because of, my work schedule didn't allow me to attend right after school. On all of these committees, when they meet, is it appropriate to have updates? Because I know they're not board committees, but I hear from HVAD and we hear from some of the committees, but like I never hear from ECFE or Community Ed. I never hear what's happening in some of these other ones.
Oh,
well,
yeah, I,
they should be on the agenda as part of our committee, our meetings. I mean, they're not. But we should be getting updates.
This last year, I mean, there's been a couple times I've met with ECFE, but it was at least 3 years ago, and it was a collaborative thing, but
If you go on.
we haven't met this year,
Well, if you didn't meet, you didn't meet, but I mean,
or at least I
if
wasn't
there
there.
has been a meeting or there has been something that one of us as a board rep has attended, we should
Put it on the meeting.
just update
Agenda.
the rest of the board as to we met and this is the general topic.
has that, we've been doing that in 10B with the meeting and committee updates. Would you like the meetings listed there that have happened since the
I
last
think
board
so.
meeting?
Well, I
And
never,
that would
like
I
help?
mean, I
That
never
would-
I would
heard,
like
I don't
that.
know what's happening with QComp, sorry, Ron, you attended every other month, but I don't
Can you
know
make that
what's
happen
happening
in-
in QComp, if that's,
Yeah,
Because it would make it, then we could identify them, because
Yeah.
we all forget, or like Michaeline said, we're not part of every one of them.
and so when a meeting happens, we'll just,
Put it
Ann and
down
I
on-
will work on making sure that we've got a list there under B, and we'll just number the meetings that have occurred, so we know which updates we're supposed to be getting at a board meeting.
they're not typically things we would act on, but it's just a matter
No.
of discussion and communication.
And making sure that the community is also aware of what's going on.
I'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay.
Wellness. Doc, you taking that again?
I feel good enough to do that.
Okay, I'll maintain that. Technology Committee. We have Michaeline, Mimi, and Jean. Does anybody want to bow off of that one? I know Jean, like I said, I know Mimi, she mentioned a minute ago, she's not coming off for sure.
Well, I didn't say it quite like that, but
Well, no, you like to be on the committee.
Yeah,
That's-
I
that's
do.
good.
I mean-
I'd rather have people that want to
The
be part
power
of
of
it.
the pen, Tom, you can name anybody you
Yeah.
want.
No, well, that's what I mean, I think she does a good job on it, and, she wants to be part of it, that's half the battle. I need somebody who wants
You
to be
like
part
that
of
one
it.
too, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jean, you're
Yeah.
kinda like that, so, unless Josh, you wanna jump in on any of these?
We're gonna have a threesome there.
Okay, yep, Michaeline, Mimi, and Jean. Okay. Ad hoc committee. Marketing. Mimi and Josh were on that?
Oh, that's not on the agenda,
Oh, it's not.
no,
Oh.
but that's, I put that on there, the ad hoc committees.
Mhm.
With our ad hoc committees, district advisory had handled the relevant course offerings as far as the topic from the strategic, it's really strategic topics. To do a plan, you have to have timelines and steps. The district technology committee that addressed that technology utilization from the, 4 pillars. And then marketing, we had Mimi and Josh before.
Mhm.
Just to remind, I've got it up here kind of as a reminder, the first meeting in February, there's not going to be any old business, there's not going to be any new business. The only thing on that first February meeting is going to be the discussion of our strategic plan, because we had that conversation in November or December that we needed to have
Right.
at an open meeting, really to hash through the strategic plan as far as, okay, what is the goal for relevant course offerings, and what is the actual plan? And even if we do one for just next year, because I know a lot of times with strategic plans, if you go too far in advance, you're not planning for anything, because a lot of things change. So if we just do a 1-year plan, that will be February.
So we don't need to discuss the marketing or the community partnership personnel?
I'd suggest if we're gonna have committees that are drilling down, we do it at that February meeting.
Yes,
Okay,
right.
that's fine. Okay, so we're done with all that. So, consent items. Do I have a motion to approve the consent items?
So move.
Second.
Second, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, discussion items, budget process and possible reduction to staff.
This has to be, we have to put this in place every January if we think that we are going to be reducing tenured staff. Not only do we have the tentative nature of online enrollments, and online enrollments seem to be on the upswing again, but elementary, the 6th grade is migrating to 7th. And so we have a 3-section class coming to the high school, and we don't have a 3-section class filling in for them. So there will have to be some reduction there. So I just wanted everyone aware of that, and then we will have that, that will be an old business action item. So
At the next meeting,
at the January 24th
so
meeting.
we just need to discuss it now, we don't have to do any motion on it.
Nope, no
Okay.
motion, just,
Anybody have any questions on that? Okay, old business, items for discussion approval, FY 2018 audit.
oh, nope, you
Oh.
missed one.
Control analysis software.
That's something
Okay.
new. At the 24th meeting, I will have,
It's not on this one. See that? I'm not crazy, am I? It's not on my list.
It's
Oh.
not on this list, I can't verify the craziness.
You
Okay.
should get a computer.
Yeah, I should. Okay, so control. Go ahead.
sorry, Tom.
It's okay.
Sorry.
We like to play games here, that's fine.
In having the
But
meeting
you have
with
no
Brian
smart-
Peters from UNESCO, he's the engineer from UNESCO that comes and talks every year about how our systems are meeting or not meeting the energy savings that they need to in order for us to hit the finances that we need as far as the savings paying for the improvements that went in. The energy savings were mainly done to the high school building because this had the existing HVAC system that was basically eating energy. We found that the new server is helping. However, there are still some real wonky cells. And in talking with Brian, I said we have to get all of this under control because we can't keep spending 100% more than we thought we were going to spend in this area or that area of the building. I said we've got to get a handle on this. And he said that this system, it would, right now the custodians are doing a very good job of maintaining the binders as far as when they're fixing something, when they're replacing filters. The binders are all being utilized and filled and so there's a record keeping, but with this system, everything about the building would be loaded into the web-based system, and then they could get it up on an iPad as they're walking around. And then as soon as UNESCO would be watching, we could be watching, as soon as they see that there's a room where the damper has been, they're going in and the maintenance, let's say, is that a damper is stuck. Or this morning, Phil couldn't get the old heater on top of the kitchen that heats the kitchen to function. And I said, old heater, and he said he thinks it's the original one. When the HVAC was done in the building, that heater wasn't changed out, which I don't know why.
I was gonna ask that question, but.
It just wasn't part of the HVAC system that was installed here. The kitchen is kind of no man's land. And so this will at least give us data on what maintenance is being done there, what issues the custodians are seeing within that kitchen, so we can have a better view of it. And it would be, UNESCO could also log into this, and it would just be a closer monitoring of the maintenance. Long-term facility maintenance.
So you're talking, this is like a new thing we install into the system to monitor the system?
It's not, it's,
Is it purely data entry?
yes, yep, it's purely our data entry. But it's a data entry that really allows us to, once the data is in there, track what energy is being used. And so that's why we gave Brian 3 years of our bills, so we can have all of that information to really be tracking it, so that we can really see where we're
So right now, there's no way of tracking what's going on, where we're having problems in the building, and.
we look at the binders.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, there's nothing that comes up on this system that we have, that we just put a new
Server on?
server
No,
on?
no, the server is just to schedule the run times.
And then this is according to, what is it, like 14,000 to get it set up, and there's an annual payment you have to make on it to
Yeah,
maintain it?
it's 2,000 to maintain it, but we can use long-term facility maintenance money. And the reason that,
What does the 2,000 get us every year? I mean, I'm just curious, I mean, does it
The software.
update
the software updates,
updates?
and also if anything is, if there are changes to our, if we've got new water pipes, they'll update that within the system. If there are, if we get a new heater on the, over the kitchen, they'll update that on the system for us, and that's just part of that $2,000 subscription.
So the 14,000, the only data that gets put in the system is what we manually enter.
For the 14,000, what they do is, and if you look at the handouts, they do the entire map of the school. And so then there's the energy app, there's a mechanical app, you can do work order and maintenance scheduling, you can document the management system. It's
So with this, is there like training required? Because right now we're doing this paper, right?
Yeah.
So once we go to this, are you looking at the 14 grand? You're looking at, we have to buy an iPad for the maintenance guy to walk around with, and then who's gonna train the maintenance people on how to operate the
That's part of the
system? Is that all part of
14,000.
this?
Yep.
But it doesn't automatically read anything.
It's not monitoring, hardwired into monitoring something.
No,
Well, then I don't really know if I see the use. I mean, it's not really giving us much beyond what we have today. I mean,
Is there-
it's only as
Where's
good
the
as the amount
14,000?
that the person is
Where's the-
entering.
It's on the initial sheet that she had
Oh.
on there.
Okay.
Right
It says
there.
implementation 14, annual subscription 2.
Oh, okay.
But is this gonna say you're, like you mentioned a minute ago, Corinne, having a problem in the kitchen? It's gonna, all of a sudden, there'll be a red light that comes on, we have a problem in the kitchen, and then it's gonna tell you what's, needs to be done. We have to change a filter in this room, that's gonna bring this.
sounds like somebody
Or
has
is
to
it
go
just-
with an iPad and say, there's a problem in the kitchen, and instead of calling somebody, they're gonna type it in the system, there's a
With this-
problem in the kitchen.
There's the ticket system, so if somebody is having an issue in their room, like it's 80 degrees, instead of running around and trying to find the custodian, they can just go into the system and hit a ticket. And so then we'll have a record of all those tickets too.
I'm a little skeptical too about that, but did it not say that he'd be willing to come and demonstrate it for
Yep.
us? Why don't we just put it
Can
on
we-
the
can
agenda
we do
for,
Sure, I can
Yeah,
ask
I'd
Brian
be,
if he can come on
I'm
the,
just a little more curious on how,
I have a couple of correct questions. I have a couple more questions.
oh, go
Yeah.
ahead.
no, go ahead.
When you say you gave 3 years of bills, are these heating bills, electric bills?
Yes.
Like, what are the bills?
the
what's
energy usage. So it's the different gas meters, because we're on, 2 different systems as far as the bill pay for gas, and then the different sites. So it's the gas bill, the electric bill, and water bill.
And it's for just this building or
Nope.
for the elementary?
For all of our assets. And
For the
so it's actually
preschool
the
as well?
preschool, bus, this building, elementary building. So it really is it'll be a good look at where our energy dollars, where that money is going. And then we can, right now, Rochester, in order to save money, has gone through this type of system. And they have decided that they're going to turn the heat down to 45 minutes before children are out of the building. And it was the board action to go with that energy saving plan. And so, the teacher said that since that was the board action, they came into, in-service, and there were no children in the building, so it was 55 degrees in their buildings. But I don't think you guys would do that, but, they're feeling like they're going to be in their buildings by turning it down. They're monitoring it and seeing how much money they're saving by doing that kind of energy savings.
See, I don't see how this tool, as you described it, does that.
Well, so I understand what you're saying, it's just collecting the data of stuff we're already dealing with. To me, this is a piece of a much bigger project that we have to put in place, because in my opinion, most of your energy savings is changing the behavior of people in your buildings. So if you're going to get a baseline and pay for this to continue to monitor, which we kind of already know, you already kind of know where the hotspots are, you also have to say, we're going to request everyone puts their shades down, turns off their computer, turns their lights off. I know they're on timers, but you can turn them off. They don't have to time out. You can change behaviors that make a big difference, maybe not in 4 buildings, but the more buildings you have, the more those little things add up. And that's what this would do, is allow you to see and reward everybody. They can all see this. We are saving the district money and we're moving in the right direction. And we can find the hot spots that need to be. So this is a tool, but if we don't do more than just this in terms of how are we going to get everybody to help us reduce this. I promoted this a long time ago, and we did an energy audit, and I didn't know you turned over bills, but I wanted something like this a long time ago when we did some of these things. But you've got to train your people to get on board with you.
And that's because we got the server, and that's what he said. He said, now we know that mechanically it's working. Now we have to get the people to work with it.
So to me, you got to get some people on board. If we're, maybe making this investment first is until we're ready to start making a change. It's just, that's how I see it, is when do we do it? I think we should do it, and I'm not sure we should do it immediately, or we should do it in the next school year or something. It's a lot of money.
But it's worth a presentation.
Yeah, I think it'd be worth to find out a
yeah.
little more on it.
It says right up there that there will be secure connections, so I think it does automatically read. If it doesn't automatically read, I don't think it's worth it, but if it automatically reads, then we can generate the data that you want to see. But if it doesn't automatically read and somebody needs to walk around on an iPad and
And
enter in data twice a day, that's not
I'll
useful.
just see the,
They've got the iPad if they're doing the maintenance, because,
Yeah,
so if they're replacing a filter, then they can click in there and say they're replacing a filter, and then we can see if, filters are actually being replaced when they need to be replaced. Because right now, it's, the only way to double check that is to grab the binders.
And some everybody's entering.
yeah,
They are doing a good job of entering stuff on the binders, but it's not, it's not a,
I think there's
it's not a
enough
system that's easy.
I think there's enough questions on it that we should have a, like Josh
Look
said,
at
a
it.
presentation, have him come in, and, you know, Michaeline has a little understanding, maybe he's got some questions on how it's hooked up. I have got a few, so, I don't know when they can come in and,
I will find out when he can come in and.
Okay.
if
do we
he
have
can-
to pay him a fee for the 3-year analysis then, or was that,
No,
kind of
no,
just
that's
a
just
comp?
part of our, that's part of our UNESCO.
deal?
I think it's great.
And the
Okay.
14,000 is long-term facilities maintenance also?
14,000 is long-term facility, and then the 2,000 every
2,000
year
would
would be
maintain it.
long-term facility maintenance.
Okay.
So it's just,
Any other questions on it? There probably will be, I'm sure. Thanks. Since I have it on my list. Am I missing something else here?
No,
No,
audit is
okay.
next.
Okay, audit.
we just did.
I didn't think that, I mean, I thought once the audit was presented, there's no action to be taken, it's the
So we
audit
have a
is the
motion
audit.
to approve.
Well, we don't even have to move to approve it, do we?
We have done that
I
typically
think
in
you have
the
to
past.
accept it. Yeah, because sometimes we're asked for the minutes where you've approved the audit, so.
So do we have a motion to approve the audit?
I wasn't at the meeting, so.
So moved.
Okay,
Okay.
second?
I'll second it.
Okay, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, crap, okay. Nothing. Okay, new business, items for discussion approval, fourth quarter board pay.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Policies for first reading, policy 410, 413, 414, 415, 426. Is there anything you would like to bring up?
726 is one that Springstead did for us. And there are no changes to that, but it's been 3 years, so we need to look at it again. The other thing is Springstead is now going to be Baker Tilly. So Springstead merged with 2 other companies. One is Baker Tilly, and I can't remember what the something, something. And but there, if there's any reference to Springstead, and I didn't look at it today, and I should have, I just got the email from Springstead today that their name will be changing to Baker Tilly. We will need to make sure that that's amended to Baker Tilly.
Anything else on it, Michaeline, you have any?
No, Ann had noted that one of them had some corrective, updated language on gender identities or sexual orientation identities, but other than that, there's no change.
And on that one on the harassment and violence for the gender identity, taking the gender out and putting in, including gender identity expression. The changes are made throughout it, except they're not made in the final report that the reporting is done. There's 2 of them there that need to have it in. Still got the gender
Old
word.
term.
Yeah, it's got the old term, it needs to be updated.
Okay. You're gonna track that down, right, Ann?
I am looking right now, cause I'm trying to
Wait.
figure out.
Right
Oh,
there.
on this,
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
thank you.
Okay, anything else on that?
to be consistent.
You sure you don't wanna be on the
Sure,
policy
I wanna be on the
committee?
Good catch, Jane.
You got an evil eye.
Yeah, the old hipster's right on that.
I read it.
Okay, announcement, important events, MSBA next week. We're all ready for that, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know who all is going besides
Did everybody
Ron.
get emails with your room reservations and you all have that let me know if you don't.
Good. Ron's going, Tom's going, Mike, you're going? And that's it, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Pete's doing phase training, but
Yep.
that's.
Pete will be up there, but he will be leaving on the 16th.
Okay, breakfast, the 2nd of February. The 21st of February, we have the MSBA Officers Workshop. Where's that workshop at?
Yeah, where's the,
It's the, February 21st is the Rochester, it's in Rochester. If you want to register for it, it's for any officers new to their position. It's February 21st, it starts with registration at 8:30. And then it goes through the statutory duties of board officers. And then they go through open meeting law, board member networking lunch, and then there are breakout sessions. You can either go to chairing the meeting, duty and resources for treasurers, or duties of the clerk.
You gonna go learn how to chair a meeting, Tom?
No, I'm not saying, I'm just making notes, maybe. Who
February 21st would be a
Thursday, I think.
Thursday. Yes.
Josh, you
And
would
me too.
probably be,
That's how those
because you're the treasurer.
Februarys and
I hear
Marches
that,
work.
I hear that.
It
So
is-
we
it
need
is
to
a-
register we need to register before attending, or,
Yes,
okay,
Just let me know.
yes.
let you know.
And the legislative breakfast, I might be able to go to that. When's the deadline for registering for that? You know,
I haven't heard anything about it yet.
I haven't heard a deadline. It's not going to be at Southeast Service Co-op.
where is it?
It's moved to,
School district building or something?
yes, I think so.
Do they know if anybody's
Or
gonna be there yet?
RCTC. It's at RCTC this year instead. And so I
That's a
will
Saturday.
That's a Saturday.
send out information to all of you. But it actually sounds like our legislators are going to show up, because I know last year it got canceled because nobody was going to attend. So we were all going to just sit and look at each other, which wasn't going to.
Well, it's a breakfast, you know, so it's good. So, good way to start off the day.
True.
Is the new governor gonna be there now?
No, it's just the legislators
Just our
from,
local?
yes.
Okay, well,
So
fine.
hopefully Jeremy Miller will come, and with Jeremy Miller now being the mucky muck at the Senate,
Is that
which
new
is not
terminology?
the, that's
Monkey
not
Mark?
the terminology, but
New
How's the new commish,
commish, can't say the whole word.
Mary Catherine?
I have not met her.
Mary Kate?
She has had experience in unions, but has never really run a district. So
I
I
listened to a Q&A with her, and I was like, okay, you didn't make any big missteps, wait and see.
we've had other commissioners that Alice Seagren didn't even have any education background as far as being a teacher at any
She's come out
level.
of St. Paul
but
School District, I think,
Alice
and she
Seagren was a very good
with the
commissioner.
Federated.
So
Yeah.
Tough ones.
Okay,
Alice came right from legislature and became
Yeah.
commissioner, and she was good.
any other events that we need to talk about? Meeting and committee updates?
We had the district advisory committee, we met with, by phone with the person from
Mike Cody.
Mike Cody, who's the Minnesota Department of Education, going through what we're gonna do in terms of our being signaled out with our roll enrollment figures and whatnot. So
Graduation rate,
graduation rate.
graduation rate and
rates.
attendance.
Yeah,
That you had that in your
For
minutes, Michelle.
MNDA.
Yeah.
Well, the district got
This.
cited as well as far as, we are identified. And so. It's all right. So the district got, targeted for support. So we will need to, as a district advisory committee, do, a comprehensive needs analysis. So we'll need to do the CNA. That's really not going to be a lion's share of work because we know what the data is, but as far as why the students are not graduating on time, we're going to have to use what they're coming up with from the MNVA committee. And the MNVA committee is going to give just a brief overview of what they've been working with someone from MDE, and MDE, it's pages and pages that MDE is having them do as a school, as far as not only the comprehensive needs analysis, but then as far as the different strategies. And they haven't even been allowed to get to the goals yet because they have to look at all of the root causes, and looking at different strategies they could put in for the root causes, and then come up with what their goals could be that these different steps could get them to. So Angela will be presenting on the 24th at the online school committee, just as a brief overview of why they're supposed to be doing it, and just a very tentative outline of their plan, because the 24th is still 5 weeks before their plan is due. But Michael Cody did say that the district plan will need to work closely with the MNVA plan, and he did say that they want to make sure that the plan is something that is worthwhile and not just jumping through a hoop. And so he said he would rather have us turn in the plan after the March 1st deadline, and then have the plan really fit in with what MNVA works for the MNVA school, since so much of the reason that the district was identified is because of the issue with MNVA. And what's odd is that MNVA was not targeted for attendance, but the district was. And so
They target a district instead of a school building.
right, they don't target any school buildings, but the district is targeted for attendance. So we need to work very closely with MNVA to make sure that as a district, when we're writing up what our strategies are, to look at closing that gap with attendance, that we are not creating extra or undue work for MNVA that's counterproductive to what they already have in place for their graduation plan.
Okay, so, yeah.
It is.
The attendance issue, I mean, we've hired somebody at MNVA to be,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
And so we can write about that, and we know that we can use that as our strategy, but the man we were talking to from MDE, we talked in, I don't wanna say we talked in circles, but that's kind of how it
He's so
goes.
sort of, yeah, we tell him it's there, and he said, well, yeah, but it's gotta be in this plan, but yeah, it is the problem over here.
so this is calculated attendance and so forth by your total membership and the total number of events of absences. Is that how it would be calculated so no matter how, I mean, it's hard for one site to offset MNVA.
The onsite,
Yeah.
the onsite schools, I think the high school was at 92%, the elementary school's at 96% attendance.
Okay, we can do better there then too. I'm just wondering how a district versus a school gets cited on something like that.
We asked and didn't.
Didn't really get an answer, okay.
But we as a board, I think, because we approved the dean of students for the online, and we also approved, instead of a social worker, going to a truancy officer, and both of those should be plus
Yeah, or
signs for that.
something, right.
So I mean, the board, I'd say we're doing what we do.
And Mike Cody was very impressed that a district our size did have a district advisory committee that had the representation that ours did. Cause he said usually he comes into small schools and he's talking to one person, and it's one person does not a committee make. So he said that we were already,
So we got a few points for that.
yep, he said we've got a lot of things going on here that are very, very positive things. And I'm not sure where to put those in the plan. But he said we needed to talk about it, but that the plan is about what we're going to do to shore up graduation rate. And
Destiny Academy should help some of that too.
Yeah,
yes.
So 3.
so we got a few things. Okay. Any other committees that we had meetings? No, can't think of any.
I went to an HVED meeting where we're talking about the finances and talking about what we're going to be doing with the different level 4 programs that they have. There's one level 3 program. There's a lot up in the air. So as soon as anything is actually decided, I will let you know.
Was that it?
Is there any talk about any districts leaving HVED, or is there any kerfuffle with the finances from members?
No one's talking about leaving yet. We did have conversations with Winona Area Public Schools, and that, right now, we basically said we're not going to piecemeal take their programs that aren't working off their hands.
They wanted to give us the alternative learning school,
I see.
which is
That's-
probably one that's got a little.
Right, I was gonna say, I thought they were looking at jumping back in completely,
No,
but
they
they're
just
looking
wanted-
at just dumping what they don't want,
Yeah,
which is not really
No,
fair.
And I
that's
know
just
that
more of a
alternative
drag on
learning
the rest
school.
of.
Exactly, I mean,
And, yeah, so that's,
then who's gonna cover that cost?
Yeah. Okay, so, but I mean, with all this uncertainty and these big decisions, I just wondered if other districts are like, this does not
Worth my.
sound like it's going in the right direction, we better
Fail.
there's
circle our wagons and figure out what we're gonna do. I just,
Mm.
yeah.
there are a lot of little conversations going on. The one thing that all the superintendents remember though is when Lake City left, you have to remember that special ed funding is a year after the fact. And so when Lake City left, that next year their special ed funding still came to Hiawatha Valley Ed. And Hiawatha Valley Ed did not give it to Lake City. We kept it. And
Oh, so that's a
then-
disincentive to leave.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because Lake City lost well over 100,000 by
Okay.
leaving HVED. And so we're all just kind of saying, well, we
Don't wanna do that.
don't wanna do that.
Okay.
So we know that we need to,
In fact, we're picking up some of the Wisconsin, a couple of schools in Wisconsin.
Yeah, but that doesn't
We
help us
can't.
That doesn't
No.
help us
They're,
financially.
they're doing something on them. Yeah,
oh, they're purchasing service.
yeah,
Yes,
Mm.
yeah, they're purchasing some service, but we can't
Yeah, no.
partner with the
Right.
yeah, they're
Wisconsin school.
purchasing service for us.
Okay, anything else out there? So, board and superintendent feedback, thank yous, future agenda items, anything? Okay, we have a motion to adjourn,
So moved.
Second.
got a motion, got a second, discussion, all in favor,
Aye.
opposed? Okay. Thank you all for coming, it's always a pleasure, thanks for the Smarties, Mike,
Let's be smart.
I feel better already. Woo-hoo!
Hashtag, let's be smart.